Hey everybody, Icy Cat here. We've got the full reveal on what the new Operators map and additional features are going to be looking like for Operation Steel Wave. Now, if you missed the actual Twitch livestream reveal for the event, I'm going to break everything down for you, so stick around as we go over all the details next. All right, let's start by taking a look at our newest map rework. This is going to be the house rework that everybody knew was coming. This is going to be a casual rework only. This map will not be available in ranked at all at this point. There will, of course, be a new discovery playlist for the house map when it comes out, so you can play it for the several weeks that they usually have that up for if you want to just play that map and nothing but that map. And then it will, of course, be available in either casual or custom matches, but not available in ranked or unranked modes. The map has seen a significant redesign with a lot of surface area added onto it, as well as graphic overhauls and lighting changes to really make it stand out and shine. They've redesigned a lot of the objective locations and added in lots of new rotation options. There's some new hatch positions, new hallways, new connecting areas, lots of different ways to move about the map that will definitely change up the way House has been played before. While core elements of the map do seem to still be intact and possibly even expanded upon, new areas have also been completely added on to make it a renovation where the rest of the map has been built out a little bit more, giving you more space to run around in. This should definitely make some of the modes a lot more viable than they used to be, especially for things like Bomb, which needs a little bit more surface area for the adjacent rooms to play out in. Now let's talk about our two new operators. So first up, we have the newest attacker, Ace. This Norwegian operator is a 2-speed, 2-armor character. His primary weapons loadout is going to be either the AK-12 assault rifle or the M1014. Now, an interesting thing to note is that the AK-12 is a Russian assault rifle. However, they will not be using the Russian optics on this operator. He will have the standard NATO sights that everybody else has. He will not have the Russian sights that operators like, for instance, Fuse has. His secondary gadgets are going to be a choice between either breaching charges or smoke grenades. And Ace's special ability is called the Selma Breaching Charge. This is a 3-stage sequential breach, and he gets 3 of these 3-stage charges. Essentially, the way they work is that each of the 3 individual stages makes like a Hibana-sized hole. Then a few seconds later, it slides down and makes another, and then finally a third if not interrupted. And that will eventually combine to make a thermite-sized hole, whereas that second stage will make a vaultable hole, kind of like a sledge-sized hole. Like I said, he gets 3 of these hard breaching grenades. They can also be tossed onto or right next to defender utility, such as deployable shields, maestro turrets, castle doors, mirror windows, whatever you need, and it will clear the gadget utility. Because the Selma breaching charge is initially thrown out like a grenade, it can be countered by either Jaeger or Wamai. Standard Mute, Bandit, or Kaid blocking will also work if you don't want that charge to be going off against that reinforced wall. Additionally, the device can also be shot or hit by explosives. And one useful thing to do is maybe when that first stage Hibana-sized hole goes off at the top of the 3 sequence, before that second charge goes out, a defender can toss out like an impact grenade or something to detonate on the other side of the wall, preventing it from going all the way down through the other 2 parts of the stages. This operator basically takes the best parts of Hibana and Thermite and sort of combines them into one, and I would argue with between his weapons loadout kit, the amount of these charges he gets, and the way these charges operate, as well as the size of the hole these charges leave behind, that he's actually a superior kit to either of them individually. Then we have our South African defender, Melusi. She is a 3-speed, 1-armor. Her choice of loadout is going to be between Legion's T5 SMG or Frost's Super 90 shotgun, as well as the option to take Ella's RG-15 handgun with red dot sight. Her secondary gadgets will be a choice between deployable shield or impact grenades. Her primary gadget is going to be the Banshee. This is a device that works on line of sight and is automatically activated. She gets 3 of these, and they cannot be shot, but you can melee them or hit them by explosives. Twitch and Thatcher can also temporarily disable it. The device works similar to barbed wire in that it slows you down while in the area of effect, much like barbed wire does. However, we're talking about something that is kind of sound wave based or acoustically based or something like that, and so it's an area of effect rather than a physical object. When you enter that area of effect, it has less slowdown when at the edges, and the closer you get to the source, it will actually then go up to its full slowdown effect. The device can be placed on walls or floors, but it's not throwable, so you have to be able to reach whatever position it is that you're using it on. Her gadget makes an interesting combination between the fact that she's a fast 3-speed and that her gadget then winds up slowing down operators, giving her an extra edge of mobility. Now, it slows them down just on their movement speed. It doesn't affect their aiming speed or rotation speed or anything like that. Now let's talk about new additional features and content coming to this season. One thing they wanted to implement but did not get a chance to implement this season due to the whole development team working from home situation is they wanted this to be the season that we were going to get the new Ping 2.0 system as well as the replay feature. And they weren't able to deliver those at this time because of that work from home situation. They did say, though, that these features are still coming in year 5, just not yet. Whether that means we'll have to wait until the 3rd season to see those features added, or if they might wind up dropping in some kind of a mid-season update, we'll have to wait and see. But now for the things that did get implemented. So first up, we are getting a slight change to the way ranked works. You now need to be clearance level 50 to play ranked. They're hoping that this reduces the amount of cheaters and smurfs in the game because they will have to work harder to build up those new accounts to the place where they're able to play ranked. Also, champion matches will now need 100 matches played in ranked in order to achieve that champion rank, meaning you're going to have to work harder and longer in order to hit that top tier requirement. There's also a change to the MMR system. It does away with rank being based on a regional qualifier and instead creates a global ranking. This was something that few people were able to use to kind of abuse the system by switching their region. We're also getting a new secondary gadget on defense, the proximity alarm. Defenders can place it as a sticky throwable device that lets out a loud alarm when attackers make line-of-sight contact with it. It can be shot or hit by explosives. You can get rid of the device easily. Its power lies in its ability to be ambushing attackers and letting defense know where they're coming from, if their flanks are being approached, or coming from a door that they're not watching, something like that. It's available on both defensive operators that roam, as well as those that anchor. So for instance, Mira has the option to take it, or Kavera does. There's a lot of operators that are getting this added to their kit, so look for that to come out with the start of Operation Steel Wave. Another interesting new feature that we are getting is weapon attachment skins. You can now color weapon attachments with skins. This will solve the problem of sometimes when you put a skin on a weapon, but those attachments just really kind of clash with it and will allow you to make those changes. So this would affect things like the suppressors and compensators and foregrips and the sights themselves, the holographics and reflexes and all those things. At launch of this season, everyone will have for free the option to apply a black, gray, or tan universal skin to the attachments, but they did say that more skins for the attachments will be coming later. Next up, we have a pretty big balancing change regarding Amaru. They felt that she was underpicked and underplayed, and that her ability was actually something of a liability when it was used because of that fact that when she would come through the window, it would be so much of a heads-up notice that the defenders would essentially be ambushing Amaru when she came in. Well, now window barricades no longer break until she actually crashes through it, rather than in advance like it used to. Now, a defender listening will still hear that clamp-on sound and the reeling in of the cable from the outside. They'll still hear that noise, but the barricade itself will not shatter until she's actually crashing through it. Another change to her is that her indoor maneuverability has also been increased. She no longer needs to use her secondary shotgun to breach soft hatches. The launcher will actually break the hatch now as part of its sequence, so you no longer have to pre-break it and then launch up into it. It's all part of one smooth sequence now for Amaru to be able to get up through those soft hatches. Finally, the reveal of the new elite for this season is going to be for Echo. You can see him here, all kitted up in his samurai-style armor. Now, this season will be launching for the test server starting tomorrow. That is Tuesday, May 19th, and they said they are going to be adding one additional week. So typically it's a 3-week test server session. They are making it a 4-week test server session at this time. This gives them time to respond to the changes that they need to do because the team is working from home rather than being on location in the studio. So it does give them a little bit of extra time to work on things, considering that the production capability is a little bit more reduced with everybody working from home. So we're looking at, if it's a Tuesday to Tuesday sort of a thing, then that would be approximately June 16th for the start of the actual season launching on all platforms for everybody. So there you go. That is all the new content that we are going to be getting with Operation Steel Wave. We are also going to be discussing this on our weekly podcast, Rainbow Six Radio. It is a weekly podcast. Come check us out. We talk about everything that's going on in the game with the community, what we think and our opinions about the various things that are going on, and we're definitely going to be breaking down all of this new content on this week's episode. I'll put the link for the show down in the comments below the video player. You can see it on screen here, and you can also find it on pretty much any place that you get your podcasts. We're on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, pretty much wherever you want to get your podcast from. Just search for Rainbow Six radio, and you will find it there. What do you think about these new operators? Are you excited to play the reworked version of House? How about some of these new additional changes and features that are coming to the game? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Now, if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe here on YouTube. Click that notification icon so you're alerted as soon as new content becomes available. You can also find me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.